If you were doing your deal registration program, what are the top things that you say have to be done to make sure that it's successful?
All right, sales alignment. I think you had it in one of the polls. Getting your sellers to believe in your rules of engagement and not try to break them when it's end of quarter or the pressure's on. This is really where we make our money as channel leaders, is holding true to that rules of engagement, but getting sales buy-in early at the executive level. That's my key number one.
Excellent. Kate, for you, key piece of advice for someone managing deal registration programs in today's complex ecosystem. What would be your advice for them?
As global as possible with flexibility for regional variances, have a good program as the underlying basis for it, and a team effort, buy-in from all stakeholders, right? Because it can't be just in the channel, it has to involve the salespeople, inside sales, and so on, and the experience, like integrated with all the system tools and so on. That's
so global programs with regional variances, that way you're not managing 1,000 programs, right? And,
exactly.
and the sales alignment, holy cow, Scott, I've lived that before. That's a challenge. Like everybody in the channel ecosystem world, that's such a huge thing to make sure you've got that executive buy-in. Kenneth, what would be your one piece of advice for someone planning to launch a deal registration program?
Yep. Oh, thanks, JD. So I think probably a little bit more than one piece, but anyway, let me have a go at it. So it's probably no secret, that we're probably heading into some headwinds next year across technology in particular. So what people need to kind of think about is, doing more for the same or more for less. And that's why I think, honestly, the channel is going to actually accelerate over the next couple of years, not go the other way. And having a deal registration program is kind of channel 101. So we hear companies saying, be channel, but I would say, if you want to be a channel company, not a company with a channel, you must have deal registration. It actually all starts with deal registration, because that's, going back to the very start, what builds that fundamental trust with your partners. And the last thing I would say, JD, is make it easy. Partners, Kate said it, Scott said it, I've said it a million times. People don't realize, but partners will work with anywhere between 7 and 12 vendors is the average. They do have choices. So if you decide you have the nicest deal registration form in the world with your 25 questions, it's a complete turn off. You need to be thinking about 5 to 7 questions. The vendors vary, but honestly, you need to keep it short and sweet.
So we'll do the poll results here first, I think, seeing as everyone took the time to vote, and thanks for that. So first one up then was, does your organization have a deal registration program? So 66% said yes, 19% don't, but are currently evaluating one, and 15% said no. Any surprises there?
Yeah, it's a little bit, I would have thought more people would have had one, Brenda. That's roughly 30-something%, low 30s that don't have it. And if you're, getting back to the last point, if you're a channel company, it kind of is table stakes, because partners won't share business with you unless they're protected. So hopefully this time next year when we do it, this will be above 80%.
But that's why they are on this webcast, to learn about why.
Yeah, very true, Kate. Well said. Yeah.
Okay, we'll pop up the next one here. So this time we were asking, for those offering a deal registration program, do you offer additional discount as part of the program? So 49% said yes, 32% said some of the time, and 20% said no.
This one's interesting. Like, what's the value of a partner to deal reg without any pricing advantage or discount advantage?
Exactly. How do you provide protection if you not through price, right?
Yeah, we do see some vendors they give exclusivity only. And I don't agree with it, by the way, Kate or Scott. I always think that's the real incentive. It's not just exclusivity, it's the price protection or kickers for closing that business. So, but we do see some vendors are adamant that they won't give additional discount. But my input would be, the vendors that do, and it doesn't have to be anything massively significant. It's a real incentive for the partners. Partners really like that. So I think it's something people should consider if you're re-looking at your program for next year.
Maybe the ones that said no there have a back end incentive for instead of a discount incentive. So I'm always interested to learn too. So if anyone's got great ideas, I'm a lifelong learner here.
Okay, next up then, for those offering a deal rights program, does the program include an exclusivity period? So a whopping 72% said yes and 28% said no.
Yeah,
there's
that
interesting
no
look at
is surprising there, isn't it? Like if you like to me, you know, it's just my view, obviously, but yeah, I would have thought that's a deal registration is all about the exclusivity. That is like I would have thought that would have been higher than 90% in reality. But yeah, guys, your thoughts, Kate, Scott, JD?
I agree, because that's like the protection is the key, right? And differentiation comes usually with pricing differentiation and exclusivity.
It would be interesting to do an
Because
analysis.
different. We need to find out what they're doing.
I was gonna say, it'd be interesting to do an analysis on if there's a correlation between the ones that don't offer pricing discount and also don't offer a exclusivity period. It really gets into the, well, what's in it for the partner? There's the wisdom statement in sales, right? What's in it for me? So what is in it for the partners? That's interesting.
As we evolve that question, I think, you know, for those of us that are in SaaS and we're looking at increasing our ratable revenue, what's the exclusivity on the renewal? What's the incumbency advantage that we're providing that partner that took down the original transaction? So not only the deal reg of the original transaction, but hey, a year later or 2 years later when the renewal comes up, do they have that incumbency advantage, and is there a price advantage with that until the license expires?
It's a really great point, Scott. And what we see some vendors, again, vendors that have probably moved into cloud a little bit earlier than the rest, it's a really important part of their strategy. And I think most vendors will get there eventually, is they call it like a multi-pronged product strategy. So if you're the partner that landed the deal in the first place and you got your exclusivity and you got your price kicker, vendors are supporting those partners to land and expand. So they are treating them with everything from having CSMs in place to help them with their product strategy, because you can come at that end customer and, you know, monetize the install base a lot better by doing by working it in that way. And of course, partners love that because there's revenue in it for them, there's more support in it for them. But ultimately, in the world of cloud or SaaS, that's what you're going to need to do.
Okay, next one then. What were the most challenging aspects of implementing your deal rights program? And this one was multiple choice. So 49% said partner engagement, joint on 42% was workflow automation and catering for different partner types. Then we had conflict with the direct sales team, and finally defining program questions.
Yeah, so there's a lot of challenges, and you know, this feels about right to me for what I've seen. You know, the workflow automation, we talked about it a little bit in terms of, you know, having a platform to do it that just takes care of that automatically. Catering for the different partner types, again, those dynamic forms that if it's an MSP, we'll get one set of questions. If it's a VAR, like Kate mentioned, if I have regional variations. So again, this is where really, you know, the platform approach solves for those 42% of problems. I would say defining the program questions, it says 30%. You know, I highly compliment those 30% of people that have sat down and found that difficult, because that is, to my mind, having done it, you know, many times, if you spend the time and do that piece of it right, it's really beneficial, because all of your reporting, your sales pipeline, your funnel, everything comes off that set of questions ultimately, and the workflow behind it. So if you do put the hard yards in at the top or the front end, it will pay off in spades at the back end.
Okay, thanks, Kenneth.
And I think, sorry, Brenda, just even on, it's really interesting there, partner engagement. I've heard this, you know, quite a bit, but partner engagement, you know, that's a big number there. 49% people struggle to get partner engagement. So what gets partners engaged is it's easy. There's something in it for them, to Scott's or JD's last point. What's in it for the partner if I don't give you exclusivity and I don't give you a price discount? If you do the right things, the partners will, you know, it will be of interest to them. They will register deals. So it's all about what is you know, I think JD, you put it nicely, the gives and gets, basically, that's what's in it. And it's not easy, you know, you have to go out there and do your webinars, do your training, keep revisiting the partners, getting your account managers on their case, getting your distributors through distribution to help you. But it's always a journey in the channel, you know, it's step by step, and it will come. It might take you, you know, a number of quarters to get it to be having the level of traction you want, but you just got to keep at it. But the thing is, with the channel, once it is moving, it'll keep moving. It's not something that just drops off either.
It also requires the internal team, right, to a change of behavior, right? If partners are used to throwing something over the fence to the salespeople, and they give the discounts without question, like, right, give the discounts, give a quote, and without any rigor, then that is of course more difficult. But then you have to make like the programs, the incentives so valuable that they will want to do it, right? So it's internal change of behavior as well, yeah.
Okay, I'll fly through these last two now, just because I know we have a number of questions. So for those offering a deal registration program, 86% had form-based, only 3% had shopping cart-based, and 14% were other.
What did you mean by shopping cart-based exactly, Kenneth?
Yeah, that's where you go in and you actually pick the products that are part of the deal if you know at that stage. That's why most people don't know, Kate, you know, early on. I know you guys have both because you're kind of very mature channel, but a lot of people wouldn't even know at that stage.
Okay.
Okay, and the last one. So this time for those offering deal reg, are you planning changes for 2023? And 73% of you said yes, 27% said no.